Oil reaches a 7-year high and Aramco transfers 4% of its shares to the Public Investment Fund. You're watching the Daily Brief with Forbes. I'm Ramya Faraj. Oil prices have hit their highest level in more than 7 years on fears that a Russian invasion of Ukraine could trigger U.S. and European sanctions that would disrupt Russian exports. Brent crude futures reached over $96 a barrel, their highest since October 2014. Analysts say oil prices will remain extremely volatile and sensitive to incremental updates regarding the Ukraine situation. Saudi Aramco has transferred 4% of its shares to the Kingdom's Sovereign Wealth Fund. Officials say the transfer to the Public Investment Fund will bolster the fund's strong financial position and high credit ratings in the medium term. They say the PIF plans to grow its assets under management to around $1.1 trillion by the end of 2025. Saudi Arabia's Al Dawa Medical Services is aiming to raise up to $496.2 million in an IPO this month. 25.5 million ordinary shares will be offered, representing 30% of the company's share capital. Al Dawa has a chain of over 800 pharmacies across the kingdom, together with online and wholesale channels. India plans to sell a 5% stake in insurance giant LIC in what could be the country's largest ever IPO. LIC has 64% of the life insurance market in the country of 1.4 billion people. With staff of more than 100,000, its vast assets under management of $491 billion equate to around 16% of India's GDP. The IPO is expected to take place in March. UAE satellite solutions provider Yahsat has been awarded a $247 million mandate to provide enhanced managed services to the UAE government for its satellite communications. The 4-year agreement runs until 2026 and augments the previous services provided to include technology management support. Yahsat has been providing operations and maintenance services since 2011 on its first 2 satellites, Al Yah 1 and Al Yah 2. Al Yah 4 and Al Yah 5 will be launched by 2026. Australian casino giant Crown Resort says it will ask shareholders to approve a $6.4 billion takeover offer from Blackstone. The deal is 11% higher than Blackstone's initial offer almost a year ago. If accepted, the deal will spell the end of Australian billionaire James Packer's 2 decades as Crown's major shareholder. It was a period defined by dramatic success, international expansion, and also serious questions about Crown's links to money laundering and organized crime. And that brings us to today's Forbes Real-Time Billionaires ranking. It tracks the daily ups and downs of the world's richest people, and we focus on Asia today as Western markets have yet to open post-weekend. Our biggest loser today is Gautam Adani and family, down $1.6 billion with net wealth of $88.2 billion. Our second biggest loser today is Zhongshan Shan, down $1.5 billion with net wealth of $73.5 billion. And our third place loser is Takemitsu Takizaki, down $1.4 billion with net wealth of $26.6 billion. Check out our website and our social media for all of the latest billionaires news. Credit Suisse Group has agreed to an $81 million settlement in a lawsuit that involves 5 other defendants. It was filed by American retirement entities. The plaintiffs allege that entities of Credit Suisse, Goldman Sachs Group, JP Morgan Chase & Co., and 3 other banks used their positions since 2009 to stifle competition. In a statement, Credit Suisse said it's pleased to resolve the litigation, although the claims of the plaintiffs were without merit. For the first time, hip-hop headlined the Super Bowl halftime show starring Dr. Dre and protégés Snoop Dogg, Mary J. Blige, and Eminem. Buzz had been building for weeks over the 90s Love Fest that also included Kendrick Lamar and 50 Cent on stage midway through Sunday's game. I'm Ramya Faraj. This is the Daily Brief. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.